the sound everyone misunderstands. Almost every person who owns a cat believes they already understand what purring means. Your cat jumps onto your lap, curls beside you, starts making that soft vibrating sound, and instantly your mind translates it the same way it always has. Happiness, comfort, affection. Most people never question it for even a second. But specialists in feline behavior explained that purring is one of the most misunderstood forms of animal communication in the world. Because cats do not only purr when they feel good, in fact, some of the most emotional, stressful, and vulnerable moments in a cat's life can happen while that same comforting sound fills the room. And once you realize this, the way you hear your cat changes forever. Researchers who study feline psychology observed something strange for years. Cats often purr in situations that make absolutely no sense if purring only means happiness. Many cats begin purring inside veterinary clinics while their bodies are visibly tense with fear. Others purr while recovering from injuries, after surgery, or during moments of physical pain. Some cats even purr when they are completely alone, sitting silently in dark rooms with nobody touching them. That raises a disturbing question. What if purring is not simply an expression of joy? What if, in some moments, it is actually a survival mechanism? Cats evolved as animals that hide weakness extremely well. Animal behavior experts explain that in nature, showing pain or vulnerability could make a cat an easier target. So instead of reacting loudly, cats developed subtle emotional behaviors that disguise what they truly feel. And purring became part of that hidden language. A language so mysterious that humans spent decades misunderstanding it. Think about your own cat for a moment. Have you ever seen your cat purring while staring at you in complete silence late at night? No food, no petting, no movement, just that deep vibration while your cat watches you, with almost unsettling focus? Most people call it cute and move on. But feline specialists explain that cats often use purring as emotional regulation, a way to calm themselves, create comfort, strengthen connection, or communicate internal emotional states without making themselves appear weak. And suddenly, that peaceful sound feels completely different, because your cat may not always be saying, "I'm happy." Sometimes your cat may be saying, "I trust you." Sometimes, "I need comfort." Sometimes, "I'm trying to calm down." And sometimes, your cat may be hiding stress you never noticed at all. Scientists also discovered something even more fascinating. The sound of purring affects the human brain emotionally. It relaxes people, it lowers emotional tension, it creates feelings of safety and attachment. In other words, cats are not only communicating through purring, they are influencing the emotional atmosphere around them. That is why this tiny sound became one of the deepest emotional bonds between cats and humans. But the deeper researchers looked into feline behavior, the stranger the truth became. Because some cats purr most intensely during moments when nobody is even near them. Why cats purr when nobody is touching them? One of the strangest things about cats is that some of their most intense purring happens when absolutely nobody is interacting with them. No petting, no talking, no attention. Just a cat sitting alone near a window, lying quietly in the dark, or staring into empty space while that soft vibration slowly fills the room. Most people never stop to question it because they were taught to associate purring only with affection. But specialists in feline behavior explain that cats often purr for reasons that have nothing to do with human contact. And this is where the emotional world of cats becomes far deeper than most people realize. Researchers who observe feline psychology discovered that purring often works as a form of emotional self-regulation. In simple terms, cats may use purring the same way humans unconsciously use deep breathing, silence, or comforting routines during stressful moments. The vibration itself appears to help cats stabilize their emotional state. That is why some cats begin purring when they are anxious, overstimulated, uncertain, or trying to feel safe again. What makes this behavior so fascinating is that it begins incredibly early in life. Kittens start purring only a few days after birth, before they fully see the world, before they understand danger, before they even learn how to interact properly. They already use purring as part of emotional communication. Researchers explain that kittens purr while nursing because the vibration creates reassurance between them and their mother. It becomes associated with warmth, safety, protection, and survival itself. And many experts believe adult cats carry this emotional memory for the rest of their lives. That means when your adult cat curls up alone and starts purring softly in silence, it may be recreating an internal feeling of security rooted deep inside its instincts. Not because it is necessarily happy, but because it is trying to maintain emotional balance. This also explains why many cats purr during uncertain moments. A cat hearing unfamiliar sounds outside may begin purring. A cat adapting to a new environment may purr while hiding. Some cats even purr after emotional overstimulation, almost as if they are calming their own nervous system. And the unsettling part is that humans often completely miss these emotional signals because the sound itself feels comforting to us. Animal behavior specialists explain that cats are masters at masking emotional vulnerability. Unlike dogs, which often display emotions more openly, cats tend to internalize discomfort while maintaining calm body language. Purring becomes part of that hidden emotional system, a silent coping mechanism disguised as peace. Have you ever noticed your cat purring while sleeping completely alone in another room? Or while sitting near you without asking for attention? Many owners assume the cat is simply content, but sometimes the cat is creating emotional comfort for itself just by producing that vibration. And studies involving feline vocal patterns suggest the frequency of purring may even help reduce stress inside the cat's body. Scientists are still studying this phenomenon, but many researchers believe purring is connected not only to emotional comfort, but also to physical regulation and recovery, which leads to a shocking reality most cat owners never imagine. Some cats do not purr because they feel safe. Some cats purr because they are trying very hard to become safe again. And once you understand that difference, certain moments with your cat suddenly begin to feel completely different, especially the moments when cats purr during pain. The secret connection between purring and pain. One of the most disturbing truths about cats is something most owners never realize until it is too late. Cats often purr during moments of pain, not after the pain disappears, not when everything is fine again. During the pain itself, and this completely destroys the comforting illusion most people have carried for years. Because humans naturally associate purring with happiness, many emotional warning signs go unnoticed. A cat lying quietly while purring feels peaceful to us, safe, relaxed. But animal behavior specialists explain that some cats begin purring precisely when they are frightened, injured, exhausted, or physically vulnerable. Researchers observed this behavior repeatedly in veterinary clinics. Cats with broken bones, infections, breathing problems, or recovering from surgery were still purring while being examined. Some even purred intensely while clearly distressed. For years, this confused scientists. Why would an animal make a comforting sound while suffering? The answer appears to be deeply connected to survival instinct. In nature, weakness is dangerous. A visibly injured animal becomes vulnerable. Experts in feline behavior explain that cats evolved to conceal discomfort whenever possible. Instead of screaming or openly displaying pain the way humans often do, cats developed quieter ways to regulate themselves physically and emotionally. And purring became part of that hidden system. What makes this even more fascinating is that scientists studying feline vibrations discovered something unusual about the frequency of purring itself. Researchers observed that the low-frequency vibrations produced by cats may support muscle recovery, reduce stress inside the body, and even assist tissue healing. Some specialists believe cats are not only emotionally calming themselves when they purr, but physically soothing their own bodies as well. In other words, the purring may function almost like internal therapy that changes everything. Because suddenly, the image of a sick or injured cat purring no longer feels simple or comforting. It becomes emotional, almost heartbreaking. Your cat may not be saying, "I'm okay." Your cat may actually be trying to cope with what it cannot escape. And many owners miss this completely because cats hide suffering so well. A cat in pain may still eat a little, still walk slowly around the house, still jump onto the bed, still purr when you touch it. But researchers explain that cats often preserve normal behaviors until the discomfort becomes overwhelming. That is why subtle changes matter so much. A quieter purr, a more constant vibration. Purring combined with hiding, reduced movement, unusual sleeping positions, or silent staring. Sometimes the purring itself becomes the clue that something deeper is happening. This is especially emotional because many cats seek closeness during vulnerable moments. Some injured cats move closer to their owners and begin purring more frequently, not because they feel stronger, but because proximity itself creates emotional security. Your presence becomes part of their calming process. And once people understand this, they often remember painful moments differently. The cat that purred quietly before a medical diagnosis, the cat that stayed close during illness, the cat that seemed calm while secretly suffering, suddenly, those memories sound different. Animal behavior experts explain that purring is not simply joy, it is emotional complexity. It is survival, it is self-comfort. And in some moments, it may even be the closest thing a cat has to asking for help without exposing weakness. But the deeper scientists studied feline communication, the stranger the behavior became. Because cats eventually learned something extraordinary about humans themselves. They discovered certain types of purring could directly influence human emotions. The manipulation most cat owners never notice. There is something almost unsettling about the way cats communicate with humans. Not because they are loud or dramatic, but because they quietly learned how human emotions work. And according to researchers who study feline behavior, some cats developed a very specific type of purring, designed to trigger emotional reactions in people without them even realizing it. Most owners think they are the ones controlling the relationship. They believe they decide when to feed the cat, when to give attention, when to respond. But specialists explain that many cats are constantly observing human emotional patterns, memorizing reactions, routines, tones of voice, and behaviors with incredible precision. And over time, they learn what works. Researchers from animal behavior centers observed that some cats produce a special form of purring when they want something from humans. At first glance, it sounds normal, soft, familiar, comforting, but hidden inside the vibration is something different. A higher frequency sound that closely resembles the emotional urgency of a crying baby. And the frightening part is that most humans react to it automatically. Scientists noticed that people exposed to this specific purring pattern felt stronger emotional pressure to respond immediately. Even individuals without cats described the sound as difficult to ignore. Their brains interpreted it as emotionally urgent before they consciously understood why. In other words, some cats may have quietly learned how to activate human caregiving instincts that changes the entire way people see purring, because suddenly, your cat walking toward you while purring intensely before feeding time may not be expressing affection at all. Your cat may be strategically using a sound that your brain is biologically programmed to respond to. And once you notice this behavior, it becomes impossible to ignore. Think about how often your cat purrs while staring directly at you near the kitchen, or how the purring changes slightly when you stop petting them. Some cats increase the intensity. Others combine purring with slow blinking, rubbing against your legs, or soft vocal sounds. Animal behavior experts explain that cats often layer multiple emotional signals together to strengthen their influence over human attention. But what makes this truly fascinating is that it does not come from cruelty or manipulation in the human sense. Cats are not plotting like humans do. They are adapting, learning, refining behaviors that strengthen connection and improve survival inside human environments. And over thousands of years living beside humans, cats became surprisingly skilled at emotional communication. Researchers believe cats that successfully captured human attention were more likely to receive protection, food, warmth, and care. So behaviors that emotionally affected humans became stronger across generations. The result is the modern domestic cat, an animal capable of influencing human emotions with tiny vibrations, eye contact, silence, and subtle body language. That is why many cat owners feel emotionally controlled by their cats without understanding why. The cat purrs softly beside them, and suddenly they delay leaving the couch. The cat rubs against them while purring, and they instantly feel guilty for ignoring it. The cat stares while purring near the food bowl, and somehow the owner gets up automatically, and the cat never needed words to make it happen. What makes this even more emotional is that some cats reserve this special purring almost exclusively for certain people. Not everyone receives the same sounds, the same intensity, or the same behaviors, because cats do not communicate equally with every human. Some humans become emotionally important to them, and when that happens, the purring itself starts carrying a completely different meaning, especially during the moments when a cat simply sits still, staring directly at you in silence while the vibration quietly fills the room. Why some cats purr while staring at you in silence? Few things feel stranger than a cat sitting perfectly still in complete silence while staring directly at you and purring softly. No movement, no request for food, no attempt to climb onto your lap, just an intense gaze combined with that low vibration echoing through the room. Most people laugh nervously when it happens because the moment feels almost too human, as if the cat is thinking about something deeper than instinct alone. And according to feline behavior specialists, those silent moments may reveal more emotional complexity than owners realize. Cats are constantly observing humans, not casually, but with extraordinary attention to patterns. Researchers who study domestic cats explain that felines memorize routines, emotional reactions, walking habits, voice changes, sleeping schedules, and even energy shifts inside the home. Your cat notices when you are anxious, notices when your routine changes, notices when your emotional state feels different. And unlike dogs, cats often process this information silently from a distance. That is why some cats stare while purring instead of immediately approaching. They are not simply looking at you, they are emotionally reading the environment around you. Animal behavior experts explain that direct staring in cats does not always signal threat. In trusted environments, prolonged eye contact combined with relaxed posture and purring often reflects emotional monitoring mixed with security. Your cat is fully aware of your presence while simultaneously calming itself through the vibration of purring. And, strangely enough, many cats do this most often during emotionally quiet moments. Late at night, early in the morning, while the house is silent, while you are tired, sad, calm, or emotionally withdrawn. Some researchers believe cats become more attentive during these moments because human behavior changes subtly when emotions shift. Breathing changes, body language softens, movement slows, voice tone becomes different. Cats notice all of it. And for deeply bonded cats, purring while staring may become a silent form of emotional closeness, not attention-seeking, not manipulation, connection. This is why some cats stare at their owners while purring without wanting to be touched. Physical contact is not always the goal. Sometimes the cat simply wants presence, shared space, emotional reassurance. The vibration becomes part of a calm emotional atmosphere between cat and human. And once people understand this, certain moments suddenly feel much more intimate than they seemed before. The cat waiting quietly outside your room while purring, the cat staring while you work in silence, the cat watching you during difficult emotional moments, the cat sitting nearby at night doing absolutely nothing except purring softly in your direction. Researchers observed that strongly bonded cats often remain physically close to emotionally important humans even without direct interaction. They monitor, watch, listen, stay nearby. And purring may reinforce feelings of safety during those moments. What makes this behavior so powerful is that cats rarely express emotional attachment in obvious ways. Their affection is subtle, quiet, hidden inside routines and tiny repeated behaviors most humans ignore. That is why many people underestimate how emotionally attached their cats truly are. Some cats do not need constant physical affection to feel connected. Sometimes your presence alone is enough. And the soft purring while staring may be your cat's way of saying something impossible to express directly. I feel safe near you. I trust this space. I want to stay close. Not with words, but with vibration, silence, and attention. But there is another detail most owners completely miss. Because once you begin paying attention carefully, you realize something extraordinary. Not all purring sounds the same, and each type may reveal a completely different emotional state hidden beneath the surface. The different types of purring your cat uses. Most people think purring is just one simple sound. Either the cat is purring or it is not. But researchers who study feline communication explain that purring changes constantly depending on emotion, environment, physical condition, and emotional connection. In other words, your cat may already be communicating different feelings through different kinds of purring without you ever noticing it. And once you begin hearing those differences, you cannot unhear them. Some purrs are deep and slow, almost like a steady vibration moving through the cat's entire body. Specialists in feline behavior often associate this type of purring with physical comfort, emotional security, and relaxed attachment. These are the moments when cats stretch slowly, blink heavily, need soft surfaces, and allow their bodies to fully relax near someone they trust. The vibration feels calm because the cat itself feels emotionally grounded. But not every purr carries that same energy. Some cats produce short, interrupted purrs combined with alert body language and constant environmental scanning. The cat may look relaxed at first glance, yet the ears move constantly, the eyes remain wide, and the body never fully settles. Researchers explain that this type of purring may appear during emotional uncertainty. The cat is trying to self-regulate while still remaining cautious about its surroundings. That is why some cats purr in unfamiliar homes while quietly hiding, or during storms, or after hearing loud noises outside. The purring is not pure happiness. It is emotional stabilization. Then there is the accelerated purring many owners notice during intense emotional moments. Faster vibration, more urgency. Often combined with rubbing, circling around legs, or direct staring. Animal behavior experts explain that this type of purring frequently appears when the cat strongly desires attention, food, reassurance, or emotional response from humans. And humans react to it almost automatically because the sound itself creates emotional pressure inside the brain. What makes this even more fascinating is the almost silent purring some cats use with people they trust deeply. Sometimes you barely hear it at all. You only feel the vibration when the cat is close enough to touch. Researchers believe this quieter purring often appears during moments of emotional closeness and vulnerability. The cat feels safe enough that it no longer needs exaggerated signals. It simply stays near you and lets the vibration exist softly between both of you. There is also a type of purring many owners misunderstand completely. The persistent purr that continues while the cat appears uncomfortable or exhausted. Specialists explain that continuous purring paired with unusual posture, hiding behavior, reduced movement, or physical tension can sometimes indicate stress, discomfort, or attempts at self-soothing. This is why veterinarians constantly remind owners to observe the entire body language of the cat, not only the sound itself, because purring alone never tells the whole story. The eyes matter, the breathing matters. The tail matters, the posture matters. A relaxed cat and an emotionally overwhelmed cat can both purr, but their bodies quietly reveal completely different emotional realities. And once cat owners begin noticing these differences, something emotional happens. They stop hearing purring as background noise and start hearing it as language. A language built from vibration, emotion, instinct, memory, and trust. Suddenly, the cat they believed was emotionally unreadable begins revealing hidden patterns everywhere. The slow purr near bedtime, the anxious purr during loud environments, the soft vibration while watching you silently, the urgent purr before feeding time. Each one carries a different emotional meaning beneath the surface. But there is one detail researchers find especially emotional. Many cats reserve their calmest, deepest, most emotionally secure purring for very specific people. Not every human receives the same version of a cat. And the reason behind that says something profound about emotional trust itself. Why your cat purrs more around certain people? Have you ever noticed that some cats behave completely differently depending on who enters the room? A cat that ignores one person may immediately begin purring around another. Some cats become softer, calmer, more affectionate, almost emotionally open, near specific humans while remaining distant with everyone else. And according to researchers who study feline attachment, this behavior is not random at all. Cats do not build trust the way humans expect. They are not impressed by forced attention, loud affection, or constant interaction. In fact, animal behavior specialists explain that cats often trust people who make them feel emotionally safe rather than emotionally pressured. That safety comes from subtle things humans rarely notice about themselves: breathing patterns, tone of voice, energy level, movement inside the home, predictability, emotional consistency. Cats observe all of it silently. Researchers discovered that cats are extremely sensitive to emotional environments. They notice tension between people. They react to sudden changes in mood. Some even alter their own behavior depending on the emotional state of their owners. This is why certain cats become more affectionate when someone feels sad, exhausted, or emotionally overwhelmed. Not because the cat fully understands human emotions the way humans do, but because it senses changes in behavior, rhythm, and energy. And purring often becomes part of that emotional response. Some cats purr more around calm individuals because calmness itself creates safety. Slow movements, soft voices, patience, predictable routines, and non-threatening body language reduce stress inside the cat's nervous system. Over time, the cat begins associating that specific human presence with emotional stability. That is when something extraordinary happens. The human stops being just part of the environment. The human becomes a safe place. And feline specialists explain that once cats emotionally categorize someone as safe, many of their hidden behaviors begin to appear more naturally. The cat sleeps closer, watches more attentively, exposes vulnerable body positions, slow blinks more frequently, and in many cases, purrs with greater depth and consistency. This is why some cats choose one specific person in a household, even when other people try harder to gain affection. Cats are not measuring effort the way humans do. They are measuring emotional comfort. Who feels predictable, who feels calm, who respects boundaries, who creates emotional peace instead of emotional pressure. And the most emotional part is that cats often express this trust quietly, not through dramatic excitement, but through presence. Simply staying near someone, resting beside them during silence, sleeping close enough to hear their breathing, purring softly while existing in the same space. Researchers studying feline bonding observed that deeply attached cats frequently position themselves near emotionally important humans, even without interaction. The cat may not want petting, may not even look at the person directly, yet it chooses proximity over distance again and again. Because trust, for cats, is often measured by where they feel safest, becoming vulnerable. That is why some cats only produce their deepest, calmest purring around certain people. The vibration itself changes because the emotional state behind it changes. The cat no longer feels the need to stay alert. It relaxes more completely, emotionally and physically. And once you understand this, certain moments with your cat suddenly feel far more meaningful. The cat sleeping beside your bed every night, the quiet purring while you work, the way your cat chooses your presence during silence instead of chaos. Those moments may not be habit at all. They may be trust in its purest form, but the deeper truth behind purring becomes even more emotional once you realize what cats may truly be trying to communicate through that sound after all these years. The sound that hides what cats can't say for most of their lives. Cats remain emotional mysteries to the people around them. They move silently through the house, hide discomfort, conceal fear, watch everything without explaining anything. And because they are so quiet, humans often convince themselves that cats are emotionally distant creatures. Independent, cold, difficult to read. But the deeper scientists studied feline behavior, the more they realized something important. Cats are not emotionless, they are subtle. And purring may be one of the deepest emotional languages they possess. The problem is that humans simplified it for too long. People reduced purring to one easy explanation: happiness. But specialists in animal behavior explain that the truth is infinitely more complex than that. A cat may purr from comfort, trust, emotional attachment, anxiety, physical pain, relief, fear, exhaustion, or the need to calm itself internally. Sometimes purring is affection. Sometimes it is reassurance. Sometimes it is survival. And sometimes it is several emotions happening at the same time. That is what makes cats so emotionally fascinating. They rarely separate feelings in obvious ways. A cat can feel safe and vulnerable simultaneously, attached and cautious simultaneously, calm and emotionally overwhelmed simultaneously. And the purring becomes the vibration that carries all those emotions quietly beneath the surface. Researchers who observe feline bonding explain that cats often communicate through emotional atmosphere rather than direct signals. They create connection through proximity, routine, silence, eye contact, sleeping positions, soft blinking, and vibration. Humans search for dramatic emotional displays, but cats speak through repetition and presence. That is why so many people fail to notice how deeply loved they actually are by their cats. Love from a cat rarely looks desperate or loud. It looks like waiting outside your door, sleeping near your body, watching you silently while purring, remaining close during difficult moments, choosing your presence again and again without needing anything in return. And once people understand this, the sound of purring changes forever, because suddenly every small vibration carries emotional weight. The quiet purring during late nights, the nervous purring during storms, the soft vibration while your cat rests near you after a difficult day, the deep calming purr while your hand gently touches its fur. Those moments stop feeling ordinary. They become communication. What makes this even more emotional is that cats evolved without words, yet still found ways to express trust, vulnerability, comfort, and emotional attachment through tiny signals humans almost ignored for centuries. And somehow, despite being separated by completely different species, humans still learned to feel something instinctively when a cat purrs beside them. Safety, warmth, connection, peace. Perhaps that is why purring affects humans so deeply. Not because we fully understand it, but because part of us emotionally recognizes it even without explanation. And maybe the greatest mistake people make is assuming that cats are difficult to love simply because they love differently. Because the truth is that cats are constantly communicating quietly, subtly, emotionally. You just have to learn how to listen. So tonight, when your cat curls beside you and begins purring softly in the dark, pay attention carefully. Listen beyond the sound itself. Observe the eyes, the breathing, the stillness, the trust hidden inside the moment. Because your cat may be saying far more than "I'm happy." It may be saying, "I feel safe with you." And for a creature that survives by hiding vulnerability, that may be one of the deepest forms of love it can possibly give.